Hey, how's it going people? Today I will be looking at Neva, developed by Nomada Studios. This game took me 4 hours to complete, reviewed on Xbox Series X. Neva is a platformer plain and simple. You control Alba as she adventures through the world with her wolf companion Neva. As the game goes on, Neva grows up and you unlock new abilities to use. Therefore, each act in Neva introduces a new mechanic to keep things fresh. You have a jump, a double jump, a dash, and a throw, which is everything you would expect. The environments add some puzzle aspects that are fun to navigate, and some platforming sections were certainly challenging. The combat is basic, but for a game like this, it needs to be not overcomplicated, so I thought it fit very well. You have a single attack and a dodge roll, and then later in the game you can also use your throw ability to throw Neva and pin an enemy, which was really fun to use. Each act, which is represented by a season, introduces new environmental mechanics, and some of these absolutely blew me away. They band together to create platforming puzzles so the game never feels like you are treading the same path. In Fall, you constantly have the world breaking around you and creating new routes and destroying the old. A little bit later you get portals that spit you out in a different area. My personal favourite though was the reflections in Winter. During the first part of Winter, your screen starts to split and reflect the path before you. The normal play perspective is no longer viable and you must use your reflection to advance, so your controls are inverted. However, this reflection can be left to right, right to left, up and down, etc. It is also not just for platforming, and some sections see you even engage in combat through the reflection. It really impressed me. The boss fights were a spectacle and always felt like I was just scraping through, which I believe is how the game wants you to feel against this threat. Each boss has a different fight style, so it was always enjoyable to learn what and when to dodge and when to jump and so on. Moving on to what Neva does the best, which is visuals. This game is the most visually striking game I have played this year. A beautiful painted stylized look that just wows in every scene. You will constantly be stopping and taking screenshots. This game is just so visually impressive. The animations are perfect, the color palette is gorgeous, and the art direction takes turns you would never expect to keep your jaw dropped. There is a section where you were just completely enveloped in an eerie mist and it was just so amazing. Environments aside, the boss designs were really good too, but the standard enemies seemed pretty basic. In fact, their design draws a lot of parallels from the monster in Spirited Away, which is a design commonly used in my opinion. The music in this game is paired with the art style seamlessly. It is completely peaceful and tranquil in areas of beauty, and creepy and ominous in areas of corruption. Then the orchestral beats reach a crescendo during the epic boss fights. I often found myself just relaxing to the more peaceful tones, as I found it really calming. There is no spoken dialogue in this game outside of the main character saying the name Neva in various ways. As this game is only 4 hours, the story is not a complex one. It sees the destruction of the forest due to a dark corruption, and Alba, who seems to be some kind of green warrior, pairs with the wolf cub Neva, who has mystical powers to restore the wildlife. There are some emotional bits which I won't touch on now as to avoid spoilers, but ultimately the story never strays from this narrative. You travel through the seasons, defeating the corruption and climaxing each section with a big boss fight. There isn't really any side content in this game. There are some actions and collectibles tied to achievements trophies, but that's all they are. They don't extend beyond that accolade. Neva is an incredibly pretty game. It has basic gameplay mechanics at its core, but it pleasantly surprised me with its environmental puzzles and its difficulty at times. This title is so much more than just its looks. An engaging and heartfelt story and spectacle boss fights, in addition to what I've just said, mold a game that is more than worth the 4-hour time investment. I was going to give this game an 8 until the reflection puzzles in Winter arrived and changed my mind. Neva gets a casual gamer score of 8.5 out of 10. If you like the content, please leave a like and subscribe, and for everything casual gamer, keep it here. Peace and love.